come home at the end of the night. At the end of the day, everybody's got to come home at the end of the night. And whoever's out with you, they got to come home too. Shots fired in the city are a common occurrence, way more than I think the citizens are aware of, because they're just so prevalent. I can tell you right now, if shots went out in my neighborhood, it wouldn't be the end of it until something was solved. And I think the issue is that we're kind of not getting that across the board, because unfortunately, that same person has to wake up in that same neighborhood tomorrow. So I certainly understand where they're coming from, but there is a lot of complexities in what's going on there. The most difficult calls that I've been on are kind of twofold. It always involves kids, right? Kids are the most difficult thing to see. I can tell you in the city, seeing kids in kind of difficult situations and knowing that that's just their norm is not easy on a regular basis. I have been on kids that have been injured. I certainly was on that shooting on the south side. That was really tough to take. And then critical incidents as well. I was on that 9 or 10 person shooting over on the west side. We were literally stepping over injured parties at first because we had to make sure that the threat was gone. None of that stuff's easy, and it always sticks with you. What do I want for my kids in this life? I want them to understand that hard work pays off. I want them to find meaning, and I want them to find purpose. My first son was a boy, and we joke about it to this day. I'm not a big crier, right? But I certainly had tears in my eyes that day. And then I had my daughter, and it was a whole different world. Having a girl was pretty cool, and she is a ball of fire. And her having this kind of, no nonsense take attitude, it's just something I can appreciate. Trying to hone that at times is a little bit challenging because sometimes it spills over, but she is one tough little girl in a multitude of ways. She was actually diagnosed with a blood disorder from a very young age, which she has regular blood transfusions every 3 weeks, and it's something that she's not going to grow out of. There are some medical treatments that might come up, but I do want to mention that because when you talk about strength, it is certainly those two, my wife and my daughter, that have more than I do. It has made things that are not that important not be that important. You know, everybody wants to correct so many different things without looking internally, and I'm sure I do the same, but going through that with my daughter and watching her and how strong she's been through that is certainly a strength builder. And I will say that there's families that don't get the chances we get right now. Like, that was taken away from them. If we could make our own little world better, our own little home better, our own little family better, I think that pays off in the community. I can't fix the community if I'm a mess, if my family's a mess. So I try to fix what I can first internally, and hopefully that spills over into the community, because it's tough to fix things when you're not squared away. That's part of the reason I do this job. It's bigger than me. There's got to be meaning, there's got to be purpose. As long as it's in the positive, I'm all in.